What's up, YouTube fam? Robbie C here. We are back with part B, the back 9 of episode 2 of Birdie Talks, and we have our guest, Trevor Staub, tearing it up.
So catch me if I fall.
We're at Sandusky Park playing the back 9, as we've already said. It's going to be a good time. If you guys haven't seen the first half of this and want to know where we're at, what we're doing, you can check out the video in one of these corners. It's a great time. You're going to want to check it out. But we're starting off with a question. You have a fantastic son.
Yes.
He is 8 months-ish at the time of this?
13 months.
13, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. So what would you say is a core memory that you are looking forward to most with your son?
Yeah, it's a lot of them have definitely happened. Like the latest big one, it's been like a month and a half, like he started walking. So we've got that now. I would say next is probably going to be like first. He has some, like he can say like mama, dad, but I think like first words is going to be pretty crazy. Okay. Like first, because like I remember when the first like form of communication we had with one another is when he would blow a raspberry and you could do it to him and he would do it back. And that was the first time it was like, we just communicated, and that was like a crazy thing to me, like, wow, my son and I just communicated. So I think the first time that he asks me for something or acknowledges something I said with a word, that'll probably be pretty crazy.
Okay, yeah. Like that development.
Just seeing them like become more cognizant, and like, it's a weird analogy I tell people, but it's like, if all you've ever had in your life are pets, right? So if you have a pet dog, for example, you train those dogs, but you only expect them to be so smart. And then you have a child one day and all of a sudden they start doing things and you're like, how are they so smart? And then you remember that's a human. Like that's what I was. Like their brains are so much more developed and obviously way smarter. So like they'll do something and you're like, I mean, he's only 6 months old. He's smarter than my dog. Like, oh yeah,
ideal.
Duh, that's how it works. Yeah, so this is a par 4, but it is reachable.
Okay.
I mean, I usually get there just with a putter. No, I'm just kidding. I've only birdied or eagled this hole maybe once. It's a rip. Turn. That's a bit left. That's not great.
That's not
it's
bad.
Gonna make it a little awkward, but it's, you know, as long as you're not in the woods, it's just usually up and down. Roller?
Not intentional.
I was gonna say, it was close to being a really great angle too.
Yeah. Whew. Whew. Okay.
You're kind of huge with that disc.
It's pigs, man. That's why they're 4 speeds now.
This might not be the line, but I'm gonna do it anyways, because why not?
Slamma jamma. It's perfect.
All right, it worked out.
That's fantastic. Boop. That's one of those Lunas, just like I was afraid with the slide downhill to like commit and pop it, and then it's just like, no, I'm good, I'm gonna drop. Drop. Hole 11, par 3, 176 feet. It feels like a short one, but it looks a lot longer. It feels like it plays farther than 170. Is that accurate-ish? More like a 200?
Yeah, I mean, because the uphill, my thing is, whenever on this hole, like I throw a mid, obviously I don't have to throw a mid.
Yeah.
Slight flex. But in the sense that I could get a putter there, but like because it's so uphill, like there's no shot of throwing this way long. So I might as well just let the disc do the work for me.
Yeah, that's fair. Speaking of a slight flex, baseball players are notoriously known for being tool bags. That is, I mean,
I wouldn't put us on the top of the two. You got lacrosse.
Well, sorry, back lacrosse was not, lax life wasn't like soaring when I was in school. So baseball players had that. So the question is, what's the most tool bag piece of clothing that you owned while you identified as a baseball player?
See, now here's the
like
thing
a shell
is,
necklace guy?
No, see, I didn't have a lot of those things, you know. My dad was a baseball guy. He pitched in college, like that was his thing. So like he was very much a proponent of like old school baseball.
Awesome.
So I don't even think he would have let me get away with anything that crazy. And I also grew up like where I played baseball, was more of like a country baseball situation rather than like tool-y baseball situation.
Okay.
So it wasn't too bad. You obviously had kids because like I would say, yeah, the necklaces, what were they called? The
It was like the power band or
what the heck were those called? They would start with a G, I think.
yeah.
Anyways,
The balance ones and all
yeah,
that.
you know them. And then there was the bracelets, and then it was how you wore eye black. I guess the tooliest thing I did in baseball, and I just thought it was convenient. They almost got killed by a disc. I thought it was convenient more than anything, is I did flip my glasses and wore them upside down on my hat.
Okay.
And I thought that looked sick.
Yeah.
And it was also convenient. If you're playing the field, cloud goes behind the sun. Other way around, sun goes behind a cloud, you gotta get your glasses out of your face. But I would wear that, I would do that like not just to baseball games. So I guess that's probably it. Yeah.
I love it. Okay. Let's say we're getting the Oakleys, pulling them back out, slapping them on the...
I never had like Oakleys though. Like I always had pretty cheap sunglasses because I knew I'd break them or lose them. I never really invested.
Yeah, that's like the sunglasses I keep in my bag now.
Yeah.
Are
just like free ones.
student
basically.
life, like, yeah, I got them because I went to a conference once.
Yeah.
Like,
I get that. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful.
okay.
Work of art.
This is easy. You got this all day.
In fairness, that did hit a lot of basket.
I'm sorry. You know what?
You did it. It was your fault. I'd like to think that one would have caught. That was I mean, I know
really-
the basket well enough to know that's not where I needed to hit it. But that is definitely every basket but Prodigy catches that one. Just try and throw an Anheuser through that gap and then just see what happens.
So forehand not the play because it'll
No,
fade out
it
too
won't
much?
work. Yeah,
Okay.
it won't work.
All right, hole 12. Classic, like if you're getting used to disc golf, you see a hole that moves right to left or left to right, and you're like, oh, I'm a right-handed player, it's a forehand. Apparently that's not the case, so we're gonna try the turnover.
It doesn't shape that way.
Question for this one. What's
Okay.
the weirdest food experience that you've ever had?
Weirdest food experience. I'm pretty adventurous when it comes to food. I grew up watching a lot of Food Network.
Okay.
To this day, like I love, like one of my favorite things to do is to watch food television while eating. It's a great time because it's hard watching people make yummy food while you're on an empty
hungry,
stomach.
yeah.
So, man, weirdest food experience. I've never really been anywhere like to any different countries. I've never been outside the US. So I've never like had any kind of foreign food experience, I don't think. The first time I tried sushi, I remember was a pretty notable experience because the people I went with, like if I were, and I love sushi at this point, it's one of my favorite foods.
Love it.
But if I were taking somebody to get sushi for the first time, I'm getting them California roll.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna throw around
Basic
some
stuff.
salmon, maybe, like get a little more adventurous, but like I went with these people and they got me eel, which I like eel now, but I remember in the moment being like, this is what sushi's about, like it's this, and there were a few others, I forget exactly all the ones they got, but I remember eating it that day and kind of like my stomach was very confused. Sushi is a very interesting like flavor palette. And so I was very confused, but then like days later I was craving it.
Flavor and texture, I feel like, because it's the combination of cold and like lots of little bitty things.
I've never eaten anything like that before where I was like very undecided about it, and then like afterwards I was like, but I want it again. If that gets inside, that could be great. That could be fantastic.
Cool.
But we never know.
We never know. Beauty of a blind shot.
We never know. That could also be fantastic.
Sky Squire, keep doing it.
Those might have been 2 dots we just threw right there.
Yeah, come on.
Gotta be honest with you. Yeah, these are
This
good
could have
shots.
easily gone really bad.
These are good shots. Got it.
Cornholio, baby.
I'm a much better straddle putter these days than anything else, but I'm not.
Which side do you want me on?
Too much pride to be like, I'm switching to straddle putting.
Nope, pulled it.
You got the pulls right now.
Yep.
Yep.
Hole 13. Clear the hill. Be good.
Yeah, basically it.
Yeah, clear the hill, but don't be huge.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so you're a multi-sport athlete, some might say, at this point, right? I mean, you got disc golf.
Yeah.
You've got baseball, hockey.
Yeah.
Anything else? You're like, I dabbled.
Well, so I've competitively, I've played football, baseball, basketball, golf, disc golf, hockey. Those are the ones I've played. Like, I've actually been in a part of a league at some point. I've dabbled in soccer, intramurals, college, and that's one I wish I would have been able to play because I fell in love with that sport later in life. I also really think volleyball is cool.
Volleyball's amazing.
Love volleyball. Never really got to give that one too much attention. So, yeah.
Okay, so thinking of the sports you've played, ranking them in terms of easiest to hardest to master.
Oh, okay. Disc golf people are not going to like this. Golf, traditional golf is the hardest.
Okay.
For sure. I've put the most time into golf of probably, potentially any of them.
Yeah.
And I'm still probably the worst at it.
Yeah. I can see all the comments right now. It's, can we get this blonde guy to stop talking about golf?
Baseball, very difficult.
Yeah.
Hitting a fastball,
rough.
Hitting in baseball is just a really hard thing to do.
Yeah.
Then it gets, I would say hockey is pretty tough. I'd put it under there because just like skating is something that is difficult.
It's like
but skating isn't as hard as you think
combined.
it is. Like if you learn how to skate, like you can figure it out. It's just different. So I'll put it there for that reason. But then it's like basketball and football, they're hard because of the physical nature of the sport. It's constant running all the time. So like that's what makes those sports really difficult. From a coordination standpoint, maybe not quite as intense as some others. But I mean, yeah, as much as I hate to say it, disc golf is the easiest I've played.
That's fair.
It's true.
And if
and I'm not,
I'm waiting for the comments of like,
not
it's so easy, why aren't you?
Not the easiest to master, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never mastered any sport, so I really can't speak on it. But disc golf is the easiest to pick up potentially.
That's fair.
And play at a pretty competent level. But that's what makes disc golf great. People get the wrong idea when I say things like that. That's what makes disc golf great and accessible. It's fantastic for that reason. It's not a downfall.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not a brag to be like, my sport is so hard. Like, no, that's cool and everything, but it makes it harder for people to pick up and enjoy.
I also struggle with sports
not stable anymore. It's not stable anymore. I can't stand that. Like, oh my gosh.
I struggle with sports that are hard to master, but also have a paid entry. Number one thing that comes to mind, bowling.
Yeah.
Like,
there will be a phase in my life, and it may be approaching quickly, where I get into bowling because that looks great. Maybe a little short. Yeah, a little short. Maybe. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Bowling is a sport that looks to me like I could at least get okay at it somewhat quickly. I know it would probably take forever to master.
Have you ever had a custom bowling ball?
No. See, I never really dove into it, but I know I will someday. I know I will.
As someone who has his own ball,
my dad used to have his own bowling ball.
It is like
shoes.
Lots of the equipment actually changes the game dramatically. Like
oil patterns on the lanes, man.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
There's more to that sport than people think. That was an interesting way to approach that shot.
It's like the reverse scuba.
Two left. Oh boy.
Yes, sir. Nobody's white putters hitting the mud here. I got you. You've heard Marry, Kiss, Kill?
Yes.
Here on Birdie Talks, we do bag it, bomb it, burn it.
Okay.
You've got a polecat, a glitch, and a berg. How you feeling about it?
I think I'm going to burn. The problem is here I have to burn the glitch because I haven't thrown it yet.
Okay.
And also because I think it's so similar to the polecat.
That's fair.
And I have a little more respect for the irony of the polecat, because the problem is Simon and all the glitch advocates are making it unironic, and that's not the point of lids. They're supposed to be ironic. That's part of the charm.
That's fair.
So I think I'm going to bomb the polecat. I'm going to bag the berg just because it's actually a practical disc at its core.
Okay.
But I'm going to be like the guy who speaks out against the cult of the bergs. Like I'll wipe the stamp. I'm not proud of it, but it is a practical enough disc. Like I could throw up shots with it and it'd be fine. Oh, it's going to hit that stupid tree. Oh, it didn't.
Great shot,
never mind,
dude.
it's parked.
That's fantastic. Come on.
Usually I throw I finally hit the line I want to in this hole, and I hit that tree, but I missed it somehow. Oh, I like that. Get around there. Oh, it was shorter.
Oof. Too straight of pick. You know, you guys just truly, the more we play these Birdie Talks and I play different courses, you just get to see how we can use this disc.
Boom.
You can just approach so many different ways. So, famously engaged for a short amount of time. Y'all had a very short engagement.
Yeah.
At your wedding, were y'all a first look couple? Or did you get a preview before the whole ceremony started? Or did you see each other for the first time? She walks down the aisle, that's when you saw.
So my wife and I
superior?
eloped first. That's the key.
Ooh.
So that was why our engagement was so short. So we got engaged in July, and we were planning our wedding for April. It was during COVID, and everything was getting messed up and canceled, and we're like, we're sick of this, we just want to get married. So we got married in November. And in November, we got married on a Saturday. We like literally the week of, we're like, we're doing this. We called all our parents, we're like, we're doing this, you know, whatever. It's time to do something crazy for once. And we basically went, got our license. We had like someone from like just some person like from the court to like come and be able to marry us.
Yeah.
And we met them just at this random church that looked nice, and we got married in front of the church. We didn't even go in it. Basically, because it's just a ceremony when you're eloping. It's just a ceremony. And my family came into town for that, and hers, and like our close family.
Yeah.
And then I was actually playing a disc golf tournament that day because I didn't want to cancel on it. So I played a disc golf tournament, went home, got changed, went to the church, and got married. But that time there was no real first look because she kind of like, they pulled the car in front, she hopped out. She had like found a dress at, I don't even remember where, just like it was white with some gold on it, and she found it, I forget where. It was a nice dress though. And that was, I guess, it was kind of like just like a first seeing when she's walking down the aisle, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's when we actually got married, but then we still had our wedding in April. Because that was like, we wanted to invite everybody that was going to be invited and like have them be able to be a part of it. A lot of people are doing that these days. It's all the rage.
Yeah. All the rage. You guys were doing it early. Though.
Yeah. But for that one, we did a first look.
Okay.
So that because she had a dress already picked out even before we eloped. So like I got to see her in that dress, and we did a first look. The photographers love that stuff. They eat it up.
I'm with you. And from a guest perspective, right? We're a first look couple.
Yeah.
And it makes it so much easier because then like pictures post ceremony so short.
Mm-hmm. So exactly. Short. Exactly. That's a good point. Here we go. I'm gonna park this. Flip up. Oh no, can't do that. Well, at least it stayed. It's an awkward shot for me. I'm not a huge fan. That one looks good. Yeah, it might be a little right. That's okay. That's like
that's fine, like a 40-footer.
Yeah,
uphill.
that's fine from down there. You're kind of just trying to get down there and get a look. Here we go. This is not gonna be easy.
It's nothing for the Sky Squire. Just imagine if that thing was stable.
That's the ditch you want to land into, so that was good.
Yeah, dried out.
Oh, we had it. Stay up. Oh! Wow, that was a very unique catch. You know how they have like a scoregami in the NFL, where if it's like a score that's never happened before, they call it scoregami.
Yeah.
I feel like what I just experienced was a scoregami of putting, where I've never seen a basket catch a disc that way ever. That was brand new.
Caught it, threw it up, threw it back.
Yeah, it like grabbed it and threw it back into the basket.
What would you say is the biggest thing that you think is holding disc golf back right now?
Honestly, I would say really it's just time at this point. To be really profound, you know. I think that like I think people underestimate how young disc golf is. Disc golf is compared to way too much. Like when people talk about the future of disc golf, they're like baseball, football, hockey, basketball, like those. That's gonna be pretty much untouched ground.
Yeah. Because
those sports were formed so long ago when they were eating up the market share before the market share existed really. That's not the climate anymore. Yeah. And also, those sports, especially if you talk about golf, like comparing disc golf to golf has been around for hundreds of years. Yeah. So disc golf in the grand scheme of things is really young. So I think that people, like it's even funny when people look at the Disc Golf Pro Tour and think that that's the end all be all. when like tomorrow some guy with a lot of money could start a brand new tour, and if the money was there, guess where all the players are going? Whoop, whoop, right over there.
Yeah.
So and Pro Tour's doing a great job, but I'm just saying, like, people underestimate how much things are going to change, and I think time at this point is, I think the sport has always had the right, grounds where it's very accessible. That's the big one. I think that there's a lot of courses now, so now it's out there. You can find it on YouTube. It's recognizable to some extent. So I think at this point it's just time, just waiting, because the biggest thing holding it back, like if I could snap my fingers, is money.
Totally.
But that's going to come with the time.
Yeah, and time. Yeah.
You got to,
That's fair.
just slow growth or fast growth. If we have, another national virus or worldwide virus.
I mean, we're hoping not.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Oh,
That looks.
I was like as close to like an
good.
ace run as I've ever had on this hole. Yeah, that is also good. That's a little left. That should be all right. It's not really, yeah. You don't really know with this hole. Well, you missed left.
Not trying to sail it. Whoop. Game on.
Almost change it out for you.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. One of my favorite questions to ask, and probably the one that I hope people look forward to the most, is what is the one question when someone's interviewing you? What's the question you hope they ask? What's the area that you like to talk about the most?
I mean, I definitely like talking sports just because that's where I probably have the most knowledge. I went to school for sport management, so I guess,
That's fair.
That's definitely one of my passions. But I like it when people ask me about more niche things. Like I like when you ask me about computers, because like that's a niche thing that I'm into.
Yeah.
And I like that I maybe wouldn't be expected to know a lot about that. There are like maybe some like certain video games or TV shows that are like kind of niche, but I know about. Not a lot of people, like Avatar: The Last Airbender. We were talking about that earlier.
Secret Tunnel.
Yeah, exactly. So kind of more niche shows like that I like. I like being asked about stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh,
It stood up.
Yeah, I think I took it too tight. I kind of short armed it. That's close to the line. You need to be a little bit higher and throw it with like more genetic talent. Yeah. Robbie.
That makes sense.
Now you can make this hole a little interesting for yourself.
I mean, I'm gonna be real. A sail might not have been the best
A
choice.
sail? That is a huge bird. Uh-oh. This would be pretty silly if we both took fours on this hole.
Especially considering how much we talked about the eagle. That's
I might take a 5. I wonder how interesting it is for people to watch me throw putts and see them sail like 2 feet over top of the basket from like 20 feet away. And just like, does that boggle people's minds? Because it has to.
Well, Trevor, dude, thanks for coming on, man.
Of course.
Dude, absolutely appreciate it. Our final question, I think a unique one, is that what advice would you give someone who is turning a hobby of theirs into a career?
A hobby into a career. Well, I would say first of all, don't be discouraged, because if you are turning your hobby into a career, you are going to automatically be passionate about it, and that's like the key anyways, because you're going to need to put, if you're just trying to turn a hobby into a career, you're probably going to need to put more work in than normal to make it work. But I would also say have a plan. Have a plan to where you're going to fit your career niche into that hobby that maybe somebody else isn't doing, because that's going to make it a lot easier. So I would say, like, feel free to get caught up in the idea of like the allure of that, because that's what makes it great, and that's what's going to drive you. But also have a plan. Have a plan for how you're going to fit in to that niche where somebody else doesn't.
I love it.
Yeah.
Come on.
All right.
See it.
Here's the ace that I've been waiting to show you guys. It's not stable. That's in the water.
It splashed so high that you could see it.
I might leave it, to be honest with you.
That's crazy.
I can give that to a Ninja Turtle. Okay, you got over there sneaky. That's fine. It's putting.
It's fine.
Just do one of these little numbers. That's in the parking lot. You're not playing for score, man. Come on, lighten up. Who wants a Sky God, huh?
The sun is bright.
Oh no!
Pro diggy.
No.
Why you got to do us like that, guy?
Course record.
Course record. Awesome. Well, hey, dude. That's going to wrap it up. Birdie Talks episode number 2B.
B.
To completion. Where can they find you if they want to get some more Trevor Staub content?
You can find me on Twitter at FTG_Trevor, and on Instagram, I believe my handle is just at Trev Staub. And you can also find me on LinkedIn, Trevor Staub. I always love LinkedIn connections. It's the lifeblood of business. That's really my advice. I changed my answer to that question before. My advice to somebody getting started in anything, LinkedIn. It rocks. And it makes you feel really special.
Thank you guys for watching. Hope you have an amazing rest of the day and make it fantastic for someone else too. Do you want to hit them with a sign off?
And for now, I'll leave you with a birdie.